I've gotten really good at being single, and I want a partner. That's not a contradiction. I like the life I've built. I have close friends who are my chosen family. They show up to my volleyball games to cheer me on and let me come over to ugly cry when a guy I'm dating dumps me, which I will admit happens semi-annually, so thank you, I love you. We help each other with our goals, whether that's helping me with my YouTube videos or me helping them with their auditions. And we show up for each other not because we're obligated to, but because we choose to. I have my social activities like kickball and volleyball. I enjoy meeting new people and learning their stories. I may not be the life of the party, but my friends will tell you. I despise loud, blaring music where you can't hear people talk, and yes, I will be leaving at a reasonable time to come home and go to bed, but I think I'm fun to be around. I know myself well enough to take care of myself, and I don't need external validation to be okay. I have a full life, but there's room for someone, not to be at the center of it, but to add to it, to complement it, to expand it. I'm a big fan of psychotherapist Esther Perel, and she makes the point that it's easy to work on yourself in isolation. The real work, the actual growth, begins the moment you introduce another person, because you can meditate every day and have boundaries and know exactly who you are. But only when you're interacting with someone else do you find out whether you can sit with their bad day without making it about you, whether you can be disagreed with and stay curious instead of becoming defensive. And wanting to do that work isn't a sign that something's missing. It's a sign that I've run out of things to learn on my own. I dated a guy in January, and it's the first person I've dated where we talked on the phone every single day. And they weren't short calls either. We could let ourselves talk for hours, and we did sometimes. On our first date, we covered all the sensitive topics like politics, money, wanting kids. Not because we were going down a checklist, but because we were so excited about how we were communicating that none of those things felt risky to bring up. I don't think I've ever felt that kind of connection on a first date before because I wasn't auditioning or wondering how I was coming across. We were just on the same wavelength. I felt safe talking with him because I never worried that he was going to judge something I said. Because when we disagreed, his response was always curiosity and tell me more, not defensiveness, not shutting down, not making a joke at me. Just wanting to know more about why I thought that or how I got there. And I was able to show up the same way with him, but only because of the work I've done on myself alone. In therapy, I discovered the worldview and communication style I inherited from my family has a lot of victim-y and catastrophic and scarcity thinking behind it. And I was a product of that. I could tell it was off-putting to others and it became a barrier when I met new people. So I've actively worked on it for years. But doing this work when I'm single, it's not just for me, but it helps prepare me for the type of relationship I'm looking for. And so on this date with this person, I was able to match his communication and investments. It went both ways. For the next month, we talked every day. Somehow we never got tired of it or ran out of things to say. And it was mundane. It was just our daily update about what we did that day, how work went, how his dog was, what movie we watched. We were building the foundation for the relationship. I've never had a person like that before. Someone I talked to every day just because we wanted to. Lord knows I wasn't as productive as I could have been, but I started looking forward to it each day. And then we stopped dating. I found myself picking up my phone to call him before I remembered he broke up with me. I wanted to tell him how my volleyball game went or talk about the next Pokemon Go event. I was keeping score of things to tell him that I never got to. Losing that, someone to tell my boring daily stories to, that was the hardest part of the breakup. Not the romantic loss, the companion loss. I didn't realize how much it had meant to me until it was gone. But that's when I understood what I want. That specific thing of feeling safe with someone else, it exists. It's really rare and hard to find because, like I said, I've had 61 first dates in 6 years, but there are people out there who have the capacity to show up in that way. And I'm ready for it. And I don't want it because something is missing or I'm not complete by myself, but because there's a difference between accomplishing something alone and accomplishing something with a partner in your corner. A few weeks ago, my kickball team won our division championship, and when we went out, some of my teammates' boyfriends came out to celebrate with us. And I just thought, I want that. Not instead of what I already had that night, but on top of it. Because when you have a partner, your win becomes their win. It would be nice to share that with someone, and vice versa, to be the person someone calls when they've done something they worked hard for, or to be their sounding board when it didn't work out, or their co-conspirator for the next attempt. I want that because I know what it's like to not have it. It's also harder to push yourself toward uncertain outcomes alone. I've spent years languishing about my acting pursuits or YouTube videos because getting that inertia to start has been an obstacle. I couldn't find it in me. Having someone who believes in you makes the mental step forward easier to take. And by having a support system built in where you feel completely safe to try and fail and then try again, who knows what I might have created or accomplished over the last 10 years. Esther also says, I could do it without you, But it's so nice to know that you are right there. That's how I feel. That's the whole thing. I don't need you. I'm not desperate, but it's just nice to know that someone's there. A few weeks ago, I made a video called I'm a gay man who did everything I was supposed to do, still single. I was trying to make sense of where I was and how I was feeling, but I didn't realize a month ago that in doing this and making these videos, I was going to dive into myself and face some truths about how my life's turned out so far. Like the fact that part of me thought I was supposed to be rewarded for doing the work, that it's a transaction. Do the work, become the person, get the relationship. I did what I was supposed to do, waited for the result, and I didn't get it. And that's made me resentful, which means I have more to figure out. I still don't have an answer for why I'm single, but somewhere over these last few videos, I think I figured out what I actually want and who I am. I'm not finished working on myself, but I know what I'm working toward now. Thanks for watching.